Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around the world. This is the best thing to ever happen to your entire life. And you're going to find out why in less than 3 seconds. I go by the name of Foz, and he is...
DJ Swivel. Anything less would be unswivelized.
Yes, shout out to Organic Blackberry, Tiana Giovanna, Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. Really excited because, look, I say this a lot. I call a lot of the guests that we have on this show family, and I never use it out of context. Like, it always applies because of either the history or the level of relationship that I have with individuals. And I'm really excited to be reacquainted with this group of individuals who goes by the name of Chozyn 3. Ladies, hello, welcome.
Hello. Hey.
It is so great. It is so great to see you all. And let's kick this off. First of all, shout out to my man Afion Crockett.
Yes.
Who has his CBR club body roll. If you have not experienced it, or if you've never heard of it, please tap in. He does it just kind of spontaneously whenever he wants to. But
experience is the right word. Like, you got to experience it. Just
have to experience
from the music to the conversations in the chat. Bro,
just everything. The chat. I'm typically always reckless and trying to get people hyped up, in the chat room.
You can put on time out regularly.
I mean, but
oh my God,
it's necessary given the quarantine and being locked down. But I think what's so important about him doing that, which leads us to this interview, is that he has created a space during a time where everybody is in the house to be able to communicate with other people, even through chat, to experience some music that you may have never heard before, as well as debut music to friends and family of his as well, right? Which leads us to Chozyn 3. And so, just last week, he premieres this record. He's like, yo, shout out to my girl Noelle, Choz, I see y'all, boom, boom, boom. And, everybody is just socializing. He puts this record, he's like, yeah, this is called Baecation. And immediately, the beat is fire. And, and the women in the group seem like they immediately were on it because everybody wants a vacation right now. It's been hard to be booed up if you ain't, got somebody next to you. So clearly the demand to get away with somebody is very high right now. And
right.
He plays this record, and I myself personally was like, yo, what in the entire fuck is this? Like, where did this come from? So fast forward, clearly, track you ladies down, and then come to find out that I've been aware and know about Noelle for 15 years.
Yeah, almost.
Damn.
15 years. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, when I worked at Power 106 and she was coming up playing, we pushing music and just the full nine. So yeah, thank you ladies, one, for doing this. It's so great to have you on. Tell us how did this trio come about?
Well, let's make sure we get their individual introduction.
Yeah. So we have
that was such a good introduction. That was great.
We have Noelle, and then the other two ladies, we have the lovely Cabria. We also have Danielle.
Danielle.
Yes, and Danielle. So how did the three of you ladies become acquainted?
Well, Noelle
Go ahead,
and I we're actually sisters. We have the same father, different mothers.
Nice.
And I was actually with the indie label for a couple of years prior to Chozyn 3. And then Danielle and I, we met about, 5 or 6 years ago. And we ended up forming our comedy page, SC Entertainment. And we had a dope idea to do a song by Cat. I don't know if you heard that yet. You gotta check it out.
Okay.
It's a banger, but it's comedy all throughout the song. And so when we shared it with my sister, she was like, wait a minute, y'all gotta let me get on that. And ultimately we decided to be a group.
And this was in December when I went home for Christmas, and she was banging, making the beat on the countertop, and she rapped the hook and she rapped the verse. I was like, oh, I gotta get on that. Like, please, it'll be Best Entertainment featuring Noel. Just please let me get on that. And they let me, so thank you.
That's dope. That is super dope. That's super dope. Okay, so clearly as sisters, was there ever like, hey, like when you were younger, was there ever like, yo, we're gonna be in a group and try to be like this group here, this duet, or this? Like, did you ever?
Oh my gosh!
Did you ever envision it materializing?
Well, our father, who is hilarious, we love him dearly. Shout out, hey Dad. This is how I met my sister. So when I was in high school, I was a really good basketball player. I ended up being, let me little plug, I was like the best player in Nevada and stuff. Hey. And so our games, I went to Bishop Gorman High School, and our games would just be turned up. No matter who we played, it would be crowded. And I want to say it was like the zone playoffs to go to state. And my dad came to every game, and whenever I had I think every rebound over 20 rebounds, I would get like $10. So I was always looking forward to seeing him after the game when I had a good game. Well, this one particular game, he has, this one particular game, he has this, little girl with him, and he comes up to me after the game, and my dad, he was dating at the time, so I figured it was somebody he was dating's daughter or friend's daughter or something like that. And so he said, good game, whatever. And then he said, oh, by the way, this your sister. And I was like, I don't even remember what I said, but I just know I didn't want anything to do with her, or I was just like, what? Like, I just didn't want anything to do with it. It was just, yeah. And it's not Cabria's fault. I was like, huh? And so he never sat us down the right way and said, this is your sister, and for us to like, hell, play her, come along, tag along with me, or me try to get to know her. And I ended up going off to college, and we did not keep in touch, right? We didn't make an effort to get to know each other until we were grown. I want to say, how many years has it been that we've been active? How many years is that?
We got to know each other when I hit 2. So now that's 11 years.
Yeah. Wow. So it would have been great to sing with her. I mean, because I've been a singer my whole life. She's been a singer her whole life. I grew up singing in Catholic church. She grew up singing in her church. Like, we missed out on a lot of years. So I feel like we're making up, not just making up for it now, but it's so much more meaningful because we made an effort, not to work together musically, but to be sisters. Right. And her mom, I love her mom. I love her family. Like, my mom loved her. We just really made an effort, to make up for lost time, if you will. Yeah.
That's so amazing. That's such an amazing story. I share a similar story. My dad ended up having another daughter, and he never introduced us. That's a story for another episode, but I find it, yeah,
literally.
It just happened to me. So literally, like,
what is up with that? Why? What is up with that?
My brother, hey y'all. My brother was like, hey sis, I just called to say what's up, and I'm like, what's up, Rashawn? How you doing? And he's like, yo, so between you and me, you have another sister. I'm like, what do you mean between you and me? I can't bring this to dad. I can't be like, yo, who's this? Like, no. And apparently he like met her on Labor Day weekend and took her to lunch, and like they sat and talked, and they're like friends on Facebook. But I never go on Facebook, so I had no idea. Yeah, it's all very new.
So I'm gonna reveal this to all of us because clearly none of us knew. Chozyn 3, Tiana Swivel, none of us knew that all of our parents were part of the Temptations at one point. And
seriously.
Oh my goodness. Apple was a rolling stone.
He was a rolling stone,
rolling.
And, we still looking for his hat. I'm still looking for the hat.
Still looking wherever he laid his hat was his home. Listen.
And we apparently got a lot of real estate. Once we find that house and that hat, we gonna probably be living a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to get the equity. You know, but you know, I find it, you know, I find it interesting. I guess as adults, we can now look back at it, and clearly that's something that didn't necessarily go in our favor, which clearly we can all relate to. But I love to see the relationship and how you have come together. And you know, again, it does sound bad to say make up for lost time, but it doesn't seem like you're taking the time for granted, and you're creating something that was beautiful. And needless to say, what I've learned in my experience, it's like if those things never happened in my past, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm glad that you ladies are here. You know, so
and
that's amazing.
To go from, you know, Noelle saying like she wasn't really like in the right state of mind or whatever to, you know, accept Cabria as a sister, like to now just being a group within the last 7-8 months, like you know,
Amazing.
it shows the journey and the progress and yeah, I mean that's I figured you guys were a group for longer than that, so
Right. Yeah,
Chemistry.
Yeah, it's a testimony.
Yeah.
It's definitely a testimony, and hopefully it encourages, you know, other relationships to get to know each other. It's never too late. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Girl, you better say that again. Like that's man, that's definitely the truth. That's definitely the truth. So so before Noelle, Danielle Cabria, you already had your own thing going on. Tell us about that. You said it's comedy, and what else?
Yeah, so it's our platform that we started doing comedy skits with, but we also share our other talents, such as I'm a spoken word artist, so I share that. Cabria, of course, sings, and we both encourage. So any message that really is strong on our heart, we put on there, but we do stick to comedy. So we'll be having some new stuff out real soon.
Yeah, and we have over 100,000 followers now.
Yeah.
We got a really funny video. We got a lot of funny videos. Okay. No, but that are already on there too.
Oh yeah.
Highest video is over 10.3 million views and 250,000 shares. It's funny as hell, apparently. We started that, about 4 years ago.
Yeah, 2015 we started.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So, yeah, and I'm telling you, the grind has been real, because I remember us coming together and just saying, when we had 500 followers, like we were so grateful to just have those 500, and now to be in this place where we have a group now, is so many different dynamics, and we're doing that, and we're growing, and now, like she said, over 105, I think, thousand followers is really humbling. You know, just this whole experience is very humbling, and we're constantly in a state of gratitude, constantly, because we're just grateful for friendships, for sisterhood, for encouraging each other, uplifting other people, you know, as we continue our journey, because like she said, it's never too late. We became best friends as adults.
Right.
You know, people think that we're childhood friends. I'm from Detroit. So I moved out here with one of my childhood friends, and you know, you just always have to have the courage to step out, because I just think if I would have never even took the step to move here, you know, to Vegas, then a lot of this really wouldn't have unfolded, you know. So I'm constantly in a state of gratitude, because I'm amazed at how everything has come together, and friendships and sisterhood and groups, and I'm like, what? I'm rapping now. I'm singing. You know, I'm stirring up gifts in myself that I didn't even, you know, really focus on before. So it's amazing.
That's wow. You know, and I love that you shared that, because I think too many times we hear the negative side of Black women and coming together, you know, or we see the negative images that Black women or Black people can't come together, let alone Black women. especially in highlighting right now during the climate to where we're in a prime position to elevate Black women beyond our wildest dreams, you know what I mean? The way that they never have before. So I commend you ladies for going through that grind, sticking to it, and like finding that in adulthood, you know what I mean? And finding that chemistry and working through that grind, because it's so important. And again, we need it now more than ever. So thank you for that. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Thank
now,
you.
I mean, clearly quarantine has limited a lot of things. I'm pretty sure before then, was it just sketch comedy that you were doing, or were you also going to clubs and doing like stand-ups and everything as well?
We just do skits that we record and upload.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't
Right.
done anything live. We actually, you know, we think we pretty funny, right? So, you know, we talked about, like, before Chozyn 3 came about, we was like, you know, we should definitely get into stand-up. And so, I mean, we got a lot of jokes we can put down, but we haven't, you know, had that chance to scratch that off the bucket list.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll sure come. You know, the thing that I love about this age that we're in too, when I watch shows like Wildin' Out, how so many of the comedians, speaking of Afion, right, taking it back, we knew Afion for stand-up and being out, but now that time has evolved, you see a lot of the comedians that are there now started off with sketch comedy. The Emmanuel Hudsons, the, you know, DC Young Fly, the list goes on, right? So a lot of them started virtually doing sketch comedy, and now here it is, them creating. And then the list goes on, because how many show writers do we need in the world? You know what I mean? Black women especially. So and if you have any doubts that you're funny, let me tell you, I can give you probably 10.6 million reasons why. What was the number you said? I can give you how many that number was. I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have that.
I know
So
that's right.
I think I'm funny, and I don't have 10.75 billion millions. You know, so there you have that. You know, speaking of the quarantine, how has that been for you ladies with creating, clearly being, you know, in a group, having to try to create? How has it been, and how has it altered, you know, your entire process with everything?
It's tough. I mean, I'm in LA, they're in Vegas. When we record, we fly, like they flew out here the last 2 times we recorded, and we recorded a lot of songs back to back because we wanted to maximize the time of us together to record as many records as possible that we know we want to release in the future. Even our song How Many More, which came about spur of the moment because, you know, George Floyd happened, and a producer named Sam Zines had sent me some tracks, someone I had worked with over the past 10 years. And I haven't seen him in 10 years, but I just reached out. I said, hey, I'm in a girl group. How you doing? How you been? Do you have any tracks? He said, yeah. And this one track in particular jumped out at me as like a movement song. So when they flew to LA and we recorded that song, and we said, okay, it's a pandemic. So obviously not every studio's open, and they're open with such restrictions. We were able to take some new promo photos as well that we needed. Because again, when we get together, we try to cram everything in, you know, for the time being. So we ended up filming a music video with our iPhones outside in downtown LA, right? Really within the vicinity, walking distance of where we took our photos. So, you know, we are open-minded, we're faithful, you know, we're prayerful. So we look at everything as an opportunity on how can we make it happen still, because we're not signed. You know, we each have been working our jobs to pay for everything still in the pandemic. You know what I mean? We are funding everything that we do. So I feel like as hard as it's been with COVID, in a sense that we haven't been able to perform our songs because we thought Pat That Cat was the perfect spring break, summer song. You know, it was like a comedic WAP, if you will. Like we were already talking about, you know, the stuff, okay? To keep it clean, okay? So we thought, oh man, we're gonna get out there, we're gonna perform, you know, Essence Festival. We were just thinking big, like we'll go out there and ask, can we perform? We didn't care. We were ready to put that grind in. So it definitely affected us in that way, but it still didn't stop us from continuing putting out songs and figuring out how can we still penetrate the market with our small little coins. You know, so it's been tough, but we make it happen. I can't wait till we blow up so we can just be in the same city more, you know, because I have family in Vegas and Vegas ain't far. So it's nothing for us to be in the same city, and it's not complicated, but COVID makes it harder, obviously.
Definitely. Well, I think it's only right that we give the people what they want. I say we go ahead and play Baecation.
Right.
Let's give them a full taste, just so they know that
so they can hear it.
that 20 billion that you got accumulated is not going to waste. You gotta just add to them numbers. You know what I mean? Let the people know what's up. What's happening.
Do you want to get a breakdown of how the song came together, or do we want to play it first and then we can?
Let's play it first and then come back, because
and that video's fire too. That video is steamy. That video is a little steamy.
Hold on, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. I'm about to get my water though.
Oh,
I ain't even got no
you better
water
get ready. Look, Swivel, you guys might, you might need a little moment, while Baecation is playing. You guys might need to excuse yourselves.
So basically what you're saying is I got to find a babysitter before I watch
3 minutes, just for 3 minutes. Just for 3 minutes. We'll watch the kids. Just put them right here and we'll talk to them.
3 minutes, that's all I'm giving you. That's all I got.
That's all you got? That's all I got. After that, you on your own.
I got mine.
Yo, you better get yours. All right, let's get into it. Chozyn 3 is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Swivel is on the ones and twos. This is the Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com. Snitch!
Let's go on this Baecation.
Don't miss a beat. Follow us on social media at the Kickback Show. Kickback on everything. For new and exclusive music, listen to the Kickback Show.
Coast to coast, we flying, we living it up. Exploration with no boundaries, we living in love. Laying out on the beach, he rubbing on my feet, eyes locking while he sucking on this peach. Cause on vacation you get nasty. No, I'm not a freak in the streets, I'm only freaky for zaddy. That's right. First class, we only like the best. We work hard, we ain't taking nothing less. Let's get away for a little while. You and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making. Get away, yeah, for a little while. You and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making. I just wanna get away with you. Been so long since we took some time for two. Working so hard, but we need that quality time. Love like this these days is hard to find. Let me unwind with you, relax your mind. Need that island view, champagne and wine. Let me reward you for the way you grind. Soon as we check in, that ass is mine. Let's get away for a little while. You and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making. Get away, yeah, for a little while. You and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making. I'm really missing you, I'm trying to vacate with you. My day's been stressful, one-on-one is what I need with you. You turning me on, trying to be gone, next flight we out. We paying cash, no matter the price, ain't nothing to talk about. Let's get to it, I'm trying to do it. All night with you, baby, I'm just saying. No holding back, I'm sipping yak, I'm ready to get it cracking. You looking good, and you packing. For a little while, you and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making. Get away, yeah, for a little while. You and me, let's take a vacation. Watch the sunrise all night, love making.
The Kickback Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything. Definitely a lot of steam. We stepped into the sauna now with this Baecation, lady. We have Chozyn 3 in the building. This is the Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. All right. So we saw the video. We heard the record. Please let us know how all of this came about. I mean, it's kind of rhetorical, but I want to hear from the Queen's mouth themselves.
Okay. Well, I'll just say I reached out to Dim Joints, again, someone that is like family to me. We've been roommates. One of his managers, Denzel, was my manager and still a mentor to me, Denzel Foster. But yeah, Dim Joints. First I'll just shout him out to say thank you, so much love to you. You've always been dope. You've always been talented. You've always been everything. And I'm just glad that the world knows now, because he's been grinding as long as anybody. And I met him back in 2003. So he's the same guy. You know him. He's the same guy. Yep. And I have not seen him in over a year. I mean, physically in the flesh. So, but we stay in touch, through social media. And I reached out to him again. I said, "Hey, I'm in a girl group with my sister. Do you have any tracks?" And he sent me 5 and rewrote to 4. Wow. And that record, I think I started out, so how our songwriting works is we'll get tracks. Any of us will write their verse or their hook and send it in our group chat. And then we just kind of go from there. So Baecation, I don't really remember who wrote what first, but do you remember this?
You started.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you started Baecation off.
So anyway, but we kind of wrote it right before this pandemic, right? Didn't we have it written before? It just felt like it was the right record for now, because we had wrote it back in June. So literally, we let some of our close friends and family, hear our records that we have so far, just to figure out which song should we release next. So Baecation, it was just kind of like, okay, Labor Day weekend, we all want to get away at this point. We thought it was going to be a little bit better for traveling. It's not. And we just felt like the right record to really try to push to playlists and things like that. Because the other 2 records we just kind of released into the world. And this time we said, let's put a little bit more strategy behind it. So it was a strategic reason to put out Baecation during this time where everybody does want to get away. And you said that earlier. Now, what I want to give a lot of credit to is my sister and Danielle, because I'm in LA, so I'm thinking, okay, we can't go to Jamaica or Aruba. How we gonna make it seem like a getaway and still give a feel that we went somewhere else? So we had all these ideas, but my sister thinks big, and I love that about her. She thinks like beyond the limitations that present itself. So she did her birthday party at Lake Las Vegas, which I've never been to, which is crazy, being, grew up in Vegas and never had heard of it. And so it's like an oasis away from the Strip. And, she said, I think we can pull it off here. And I was like, okay. And she, 100-some degree weather, was out there scouting locations. I started looking up a place to stay so we could just be there and set up the bedroom scene the night before. And she casted the men. Look, she did a lot to make Baecation happen. I gotta give it up to her and Danielle for being in Vegas and just trying to get everything we needed, because the only person we hired a director and we hired a makeup artist. Everything else we did. Our clothes, she did our hair. I'm gonna pass the torch to her now.
Yeah, I'm a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Black women.
We will make it happen.
Exactly.
We will make it happen.
In this day and age, we got to have four different, hustles to be able to freaking make ends meet. This is ridiculous.
Seriously.
Look, we thought a quarantine. Now we know everybody put on a little bit of quarantine love over, most people did. So it was just funny to put a post out on social media, say, hey, if you're in Vegas, we're looking for 3 men, please be in shape. If you take your shirt off, will you be okay with it? And it was so hard to find somebody in Vegas. We thought it was just gonna be all these men to choose from. It was hard. So she met the 3 men.
People got big during the quarantine. That's why it was hard.
That's funny.
Right.
So yeah,
people got quarantine. All the fine men that used to be buff, they were 6 months pregnant, couldn't do it. So we was like, oh damn, we thought we could at least count on old boy. He always been buff. Something about the quarantine took people out of shape.
So all the guys came to the audition, and you're like, so are you having a boy or a girl?
Like, and some of them was flat out honest. They was like, look, I know you messaged me, sis, but you not want to see my body right now. Not right now. And I was like, damn, but we got it together.
I saw the bonus features, the bonus behind the scenes video for the video where you guys had the gender reveal for those men, for their babies and everything too. So yeah. 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 One of the men's having a girl. He's gonna be a girl dad for real. But no, it was definitely high quality. By you even just revealing that, I would have thought that y'all were actually somewhere. You know what I mean? Like clearly, I know that it was. We're limited with travel and everything, but the scouting for that area was A1 and had the fruit and everything. Like it looked like how most people visualize an actual vacation. Like, and I commend you for that. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible work. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. So with that, with like having this single out and everything, what is your next vision as a group? I mean, I know that we're receiving music. Are you ultimately looking for this to be like, look, after we kind of drop these numbers with COVID and we're able to get out, are we looking to like go on tour? Are we looking to put together, working on an album? Like, what's the next step?
Yeah, we
there is no limit. I feel like with us, like we want to do it all. Every opportunity that comes our way that we are all in agreement with, and we're like, because we just want to continue to expand our platform. Like we have so much to offer as a group, individually, like the stories behind it, the wisdom we're gaining. It's just, I see the vision is so big, like Noel said, so our visions, collectively, they're just on a whole nother scale, and so for me, the answer is there isn't a point where I'm gonna be like, okay, y'all, like we've reached what we needed to reach. Like there's always going to be something that I feel like we can contribute to or do, or, to continue to show the world our greatness and everything we have to offer to inspire other women just all over the world.
This is one of the disadvantages of being in this time.
I believe that you can do it, and that's halfway the battle right there, already there. Right.
Okay, so you guys froze. You guys are completely frozen, and everything you said cut out right when it got good. Like you're still frozen right now.
Thank you, COVID.
I'm not. Oh, okay. She's gonna call back in. Yes, she's gonna call back in. I'll just say, and I've discussed the politics of music. I know a lot more about that, so I've been sharing with them along the way the politics behind not just radio, because we don't have radio money. Okay, we don't have radio budget. That's out of the question. But just the playlisting. I mean, how stuff has just evolved to you're not gonna pay here, or you pay here, but you can also pay here. Matter of fact, we gonna pay you for pay you for every little thing just to get heard. So, but we want to go on tour. They're actresses, they're comedians. I'm an actress. We want to do everything, and we're not snooty, and nothing is above, beneath us as far as someone wanting to give us a shot.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That part, we're like, hey, if there's an opportunity that makes sense for us, we want to start making money. You know, right now we're not making money off of the music. You know, we haven't recouped 3 records that we put out. You know, so I think we would love to get to a place where our music, of course, is making us the money. So we don't have to go work 8 hours a day and like sneak off to answer the emails and do a social media post. And we want to be able to like have this be our income. You know, that is the goal. If that's streaming millions of numbers, great. If it's, you know, obviously a record deal and all those kinds of conversations gets a little fuzzy because of how shitty they are.
Right.
You know, so I think because we're bringing high quality to the table, we are looking more of a partnership,
and
versus
I appreciate
just giving you all our stuff that we're doing anyway, you know.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I know that that's like a heavy conversation right now with the like, specifically with Joe Budden talking about ownership and getting paid what you're worth. But before the ladies, I know, you know, during this time, one of the hurdles that we have to jump through is Wi-Fi. I wish that we were able to be in person doing this, but
yeah, because you guys are still frozen. You're still, like, I hear you, but you're not moving.
Yeah.
You look like mannequin. Are we playing the mannequin game? That's what you look like.
Mannequin.
I'm pretty good at that game. I just make.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, y'all might have to go inside or something. Yeah, the signal.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to say something, but yeah, and
that sounded like a dope sample. It was like dun, 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 dun. Turn that into a bop. But you know, until we get the ladies back, because I would love to hear what she said again.
Yes.
I do want to touch on again this ownership. I appreciate you bringing that up, especially again highlighting Black women. You know, and hearing the statistic that Black women are underpaid or don't get paid as much as a male counterpart, especially in an industry, speaking of whether it be R&B or rap, where it's dominated by Black men, and then also where there's a dominant presence of white male figures when it comes to the ownership, when it comes to publishing. And so I guess the disadvantage is having to hustle twice as hard, but I think the payback is having that ownership of your own. You know?
That's right.
Ladies, again, apologize that, you know, we're in these times and can't be in person and all of that, but I want to go back to what Danielle was saying. If you could just reiterate what you were saying as far as Baecation and the next steps and everything that you're looking forward to jumping into. You were saying that the sky's the limit. You don't have anything reason to stop.
Exactly. Yeah. There's not a point where I think I'm going to reach and I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, like we've made it to this stage, we can stop now. I think it's as I continue to go through life, you just realize that stories that may just be stories to you are inspiration to others. It's encouraging to others. It's helping other people to know that, you know, life isn't always perfect, okay? And you're gonna experience hurdles and trials and tests, and you are that testimony to keep pushing through, to keep going after your dreams, to keep, when people are telling you, oh, what you doing what? Now you in a group. Then you go to school to do, you know, I mean, like we're all college graduates, you know, at one point, you know, you go to school and you think, hey, you know, I have my degree, I'm going to do this, that, and the third, and, you know, have this. And life does not work that way. You know, it just,
not even
you can have your goals and plans, and you know, life will throw you for some curves, and so
we're pursuing these goals. We all have so many things that we're going through on our own, health issues, you know. Can I put your business up a little bit? You gotta ask, you know, like,
but life goes on, yeah.
Yeah, life goes on. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. My grind, I've had to go through that all throughout me going through cancer. Danielle, her stuff, I'll let you be.
No. Oh yeah, because I was married. You know, I'm not married anymore, so now I'm a single mother. You know, it's a lot of things that we have been through. Like I said, we are walking testimonies to those who any excuse you want to put in front of you, I mean, just name it. I mean, family problems, friendship, whatever, marriage. You know, being a single mom, whatever it is that you want to try to put in front of you to say, no, I can't do this. We're here to show you, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Absolutely. And you don't crumble under the pressure. And I think that's why I think you all you're on the right path and you're on the road to success, because, you know, those stumbling blocks are going to get in the way all the time. That's life. That's what it is. And the whole point is for you to find your way around them, keep on going. And that's just, that's what it is. And I don't know any really successful people who are able to cope who have not been through anything. Exactly. I know a lot of people who they've been successful because of where they've come from or their family or whatnot. But once any kind of pressure hits, they crumble. They wouldn't be able to live a day without their therapist, like those kind of people. I mean, and I think that just goes to show, like, we Black women are freaking magical. You don't. There's not a term called Black. There's no such thing as Black fragility for a reason. For a reason.
Tell it.
It's true. Listen, it's some folks who say some things, and I'm like, that's what threw you off. They're not like we are. They're. I had a woman who told me, I'm sure that this ripped her apart, but I had someone who told me that she saw her dog die, and now she suffers from PTSD.
Wait, I'm laughing.
Where is
too,
my
because you off the chain. Because I'm like that. She said, oh, wow. Now I'm going to be laughing about that all day, Tia. Hold on.
I'm not joking. She was in therapy.
She said, I'm not joking. You heartless, Tiana. You're heartless. I'm just kidding.
That was her dog. No compassion.
And I'm sure, like, that would hurt me. But that wouldn't $200 an hour therapy hurt me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That would
exactly.
Call my sister and cry on the phone hurt me.
Exactly.
And then we got to move on.
And we got to. You got a shoebox or something?
Oh, it was dark. That was a dark one. That was a dark joke.
Can I just highlight how strong Black women are in that moment, to where you have to hold restraint not to say something petty back? Because had that been me, I would have come out of the woodworks with all kinds of stories. Like, you know, that time when my homeboy got shot, while he was running away from the police, and then it happened again on the news 20 times in the past, you know.
Right.
But I'm still here. I ain't got no PTSD.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me, how big was this dog? I would have just started asking random questions. Did you feed a puppy child? That's probably why. You shouldn't have asked no questions.
It's just funny. Like, I still amaze myself sometimes. I'm like, girl, you in a group? And you got bestie in the set, like, because life, it'll just show you that anything is possible. Right? Anything is possible. You are limiting yourself when you think, oh, that's too big. I'm not gonna dream of, you know, doing XYZ, you know, because I don't have ABC. You know, you have just got to start and then believe in yourself.
You better preach on Sunday.
Oh, because
Minister Danielle.
Listen, I need to find the collection plate. Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, we can't pass no plates. We ain't doing that. This is free.
We need it for the next video. We need the plate.
Where that cash app offering. Need that cash app tied.
Cash
app tied. But you know what? You know what? Tiana, did you want to say anything? I don't want to dominate this interview.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm just sitting back and enjoying all of this Black girl magic happening on my screen right now. I'm right along. I'm right along with Swivel talking about we need to pass the offering plate because
Yeah.
they're just spitting facts. I'm just enjoying listening at this point. I'm just like, go ahead.
And I relate to you, Tiana, because I also have a son. I have a 4-year-old. So I know that life with a child, children, and juggling it all, at times it can be a little overwhelming, and you have to just gain your balance. Like just a little bit,
This one's a lot of bit overwhelming.
She is much.
But you know what? I think what you just said during your sermon, which I greatly appreciate, coming from the book of Black Girl Magic, first melanin 7 and 8. When you said, no, let me stop.
That's her favorite thing to do, Cabria.
Yes. But you hit it right on the dot when you said, not allowing anything to stop you and persevering, and it's all a mentality. And I think during this time, again, this year, even though it has seemed very unwarranted and below our standards and what we may have been expecting, I think having that mentality that you just shared really kind of separated those that really want their dreams versus those that just want to stay asleep. You know what I mean? It's all a perspective. Right. It's all in the mind. And, clearly now is the time to do it more than ever, because I feel as though we're seeing a shift. Like once we get back to a sense of normalcy, it's not going to be what we were used to before all of this.
No way. Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like things are going to be completely different. And so I commend you ladies for taking that leap of faith and sticking with it, persevering, making it happen on your own, not waiting or allowing anybody to tell you something. And then I'm gonna say this out loud because Swivel and I had this conversation after I reached out to Noel, and I said to him, dude, like, I'm so glad that we stayed solid in this industry. You know what I mean? And hearing Noel share her stories of being able to reach out to dim joints, having a good rapport with people and not being known for being shysty or anything otherwise really carries you much further. You know what I mean? And so, again, I commend you ladies for everything that you're doing. Everything.
Thank you. And we commend you right back. Thank you for having us, and
both of you.
Thank you for staying on the grind, because I know it's a grind, So
it
really
is. And just so the audience out there knows, when I realized who Noel was, and I was like, yo, man, I DJ'd a few events that she performed at way back in the day.
Wow.
And I had to confirm it. I'm like, is this Noel that had the single like that, back in the day? And it's like, yeah, of course. And it's just like, man, the what's the word I'm looking for? Not consistency, but doggone it.
Perseverance.
There it is.
Yeah.
To see where what she was doing back then, and in terms of performing in front of these small crowds or whatever, to where you ladies are at currently now, with both with all you guys' individual platforms, and then even together as a group. I mean, like I said, it's just a testimony to sticking with it and believing in yourself that it's gonna get there.
Right.
And the goals that Noel was speaking on in terms of you guys wanting to be able to perform and tour and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna happen. It's got to get through this pandemic somehow, some way.
Exactly.
Well, he got it, so now hopefully more people wear masks and we'll see it.
Right.
Anyway,
exactly.
So
he got it.
So
Trump.
I
thought you talking
No.
Talking about swimming.
No.
We was
not my brother.
We went out for a minute, so I thought we missed hang up the phone.
While y'all was gone, some interesting turn of events here. I'd like to share. When you were gone, I went to Africa, picked up this little drum, so I've been playing it. Created the new beat for y'all. So we talked about motherhood. We have some incredible music. All of your personal ventures, from being a hairstylist, just wonderful Black women, models to talent scouts. Let's talk about this acting, okay? Because I personally don't watch TV, but going through pages and everything and seeing the amazing talents. And Noel, let's talk about this episode of Blackish that you were on, and just all your acting ventures. Because I mean, again, to Swivel's point, seeing you from the point of like, hey, coming up to the radio station, pushing this music, to now like just glowing, you know what I mean? All of you ladies, like how did we get transitioned into that world?
Well, to be honest, I got really burnt out of the music industry. I actually took like a break, and I'm grateful that it got me to this place right here. But I look back and I'm like, okay, I got really burnt out from just being signed independently, label folding, and just the hurdles that I had to deal with as a solo artist. And my height was a big issue back then for major labels that were considering me, which is still crazy. So it was around the recession happened, and I got a job in corporate America, but to make extra money, I started doing background work. And so background work, I was able to join the union. And so then I said, well, I've never taken any acting classes, but let me just get an agent. Since I'm union now, somebody should want to represent me, I hope. And I think I sent out like 50 agencies, and one got back to me and said, come in, we'll let you read. I did. And the guy said, well, you didn't knock it out the park, but if something comes along, we'll submit you. And I was like, okay. And so that was back in 2010, 2011. And that's when I booked House and Rules of Engagement, like in the same week, which was crazy. And I mean, I didn't know that House was going to write me back in for 2 more episodes after that in the new season and the last season. But even at that time, I did not think I could go from, singer-songwriter to actress. I just still didn't have that confidence to think, oh, let me just really go all in with the acting. Plus, I had this corporate job. So I still kept working at this corporate job for 6 years until finally in 2016, I just said, all right, I want to take, the acting seriously. Let me get in class. Let me invest my money in education and just kind of learn the techniques that I had no clue about. And so that's what I did. And then I was able to get, new representation. And something like Blackish, what's crazy is I worked with Kenya Barris back before Blackish, before all that, on a project he had called We Got Next with Bumper Robinson. And it's on, I think it was on Hulu for a second, then it was on YouTube. But that was my first time working with Kenya. So when this Blackish audition came about, and mind you, it's just one line. Nadine is like, I sure am. And so when you get these auditions for such a big show and you're like, okay, I really want to say this line the best way, so they'll book me. I mean, it's hard actually to do one line because that's it. And so when I did it, I booked it, God, thank you, God. And I remember being on set, and after I had a chance to, of course, talk with Lawrence Fishburne, I said, yo, you were on my bucket list, thank you. And he was like, oh, so you don't ever want to work with me again because you crossed off, I'm off the bucket list? I said, no. I'm just saying, like, if there was anybody to work with, you would be one of them. And Kenya wasn't there that day, but I asked the director afterwards, I said, thank you so much for booking me. And, I figured Kenya might have seen my tape and said, oh yeah, I worked with her years back. And maybe that's why that had some help in me getting here. He said, Kenya didn't have anything to do with this. Like, no, you were booked because you did a great job. And I said, oh, thank you. So that's Blackish just came along just because I got the audition, I went in and I was able to book it. But with acting, as you know, there's so many times you do your best and you audition your ass off. I know Atheon knows, and you don't hear anything back from anybody. And it's not that you didn't do a good job. You just don't hear it from anyone. You just don't know. I didn't book
Right.
it. You don't know if you're down to the last person or anything like that. And from a music standpoint, what I do appreciate about acting, and I know we started to talk about it when the girls got disconnected, the politics of both industries, it's kind of interesting because you've got the fact that the music industry has no union. There's not a one-stop shop to do everything and a union to oversee and make sure we're all being treated fairly, compensated fairly. Where in acting there is, if nothing else, there is. And then when the Me Too movement happened with the women, it's looking back, it's like, how many times in the music industry are Black women in particular, not just, I mean, women, yes, but Black women in particular are just completely disrespected. And I think for us, that's why, you know, we got the ratchet songs. We got the turn up songs. We got the songs with a message. But for sure, we present ourselves in a way that says, look at our work. Look at what Bestie Entertainment has built. Look at Noelle's career of acting and her music accolades that I placed on my own. Look at how we present our videos. Everything is top notch because we are top notch. So if you're going to come in and want to work with Chozyn 3 or sign Chozyn 3, invest in Chozyn 3, you better be ready to partner. Because we worked, this is a decade and some change worth of our individual grinds. Cabria's been signed independently. We're not, you know, new to this. You know, we're new as a group, but we're not new to the grind. So we just want to make sure that we hopefully can be, maybe, I want to say we're the first females to do it in the music industry, but just to really push that partnership idea with Black women and really not just here, we're going to give you everything we did and now you own it. That makes no sense at this point.
And again, I'm so glad that you said that, because kind of going back to Joe Budden, I know that him and Charlamagne the God have been kind of having like a little tension back and forth about ownership, especially when it comes to their product, which is their podcast. And everything that you just said correlates with all of that. The time spent developing a name, developing this content, utilizing their own resources when it comes to interviews and building this platform on their own. You know what I mean? Joe Budden in particular, to where he used to be an artist that now was on several different podcasts that didn't work. Clearly people would watch that podcast solely for him, to him having his own. It's like when you go to a major corporation, you have to walk in knowing, and I'm just basically copying everything you just said, know your work. You know what I mean? So the number that Cabria threw out earlier, I'm repeating it, and yes, I'm fluffing it up, but it's like it's necessary for not just the audience, but for those that own major platforms to hear those numbers and respect them, and then compensate accordingly. And I feel as though that the conversation with Joe Budden, what he's saying, or at least what I take from it, is that there's a mistake made oftentimes where artists themselves unknowingly will just take the first offer thinking like, oh, well, I'm going to get the fame on this big major platform, not knowing that they're worth so much more. You know, or you look at the likes of a Master P that's like, oh, y'all gonna offer me, you know, $10 million for this. All right, cool. Now I know that I can at least make $10 million. Let me go break that. You know what I mean? And do this on my own, because I can line this up this way and rely on my hustle. So, yeah, like it's, man, I know that it's tough. But again, like I definitely commend you, ladies. Is there, when it comes to, and I guess this question is for Danielle and Cabria, when it comes to like adding like the sketch and clearly looking at the video, seeing all the footwork that all of you ladies put in to doing it, and clearly, you know, as Danielle mentioned, not having like a cap on the possibilities of work that you want to do. Have you already, or do you consider like doing the same work that you do for yourself for others? And I mean, I guess this goes into the collaboration with other Black women when it comes to scouting for music videos and designing and directing and writing and doing all of that. Do you have?
It's funny you
that?
said. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's funny you said that, because we were talking about this like, dang, we really know how to put stuff together just as a group, and we could totally be hired. to do this for other people. You know what I mean? And do it well, especially going through all the trial and error we did with ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we definitely could do that. We're interested, you know, eventually. I think that'll be an opportunity for all of us.
Yeah, you see at the credits of our music videos, it's like executive produced by, you know, Bestie Entertainment, Grown Woman Productions. Like, we are already creating that, you know, consistency of we're executive producing, we're taking our two companies and executing these ideas, and ultimately, yeah, we're open to it. Hey, anybody can come to us, and if you have an idea and you have a budget, or you don't have a budget, we've made ways out of no way.
Yeah, you're setting the precedence that you're more than just the talent, if you will. Like, you're, you know, the producers, the directors, the writers. Like, you're the business women, and you're here to do business. And like, anyone's trying to collaborate, like,
right,
got to be ready for that. Otherwise, like, you know, can't put one over on you, ladies.
Yeah, that's real. I say we play. I want to play another record. I want to play. I want to play "Pat That Cat," because although it seems like a parody, I saw a bit of the video, and I find it to be absolutely hilarious. But you said something earlier where you said it kind of predated WAP, right? And just kind of seeing how much the likes of the Cardi B, the, you know, Meg Thee Stallion, the Kalani, the list goes on of women that have really succeeded, you know, over the course of the past year or so. I want to play that and highlight it, because I think it adds a different dynamic as well to Black women to say, yeah, we could be sexy and we know y'all love us for doing this, but you should also love us for this, like, you know, and all of that. So can we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's necessary. That's a
It's
PSA.
very necessary. Yes, absolutely. So we have Chozyn 3 in the building. This is the Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. DJ Swole is on the ones and twos. Snitch.
For new and exclusive music, listen to the Kickback Show.
You gotta treat it good, show some love. If it ain't smelling right, you gon' get that mean mug. Did you get in the tub before you went to the club? Trying to be cute, smelling like a dirty rug. Ugh, yuck. What's that stench? Open wide, girlfriend, that coochie need a mint. That don't make no sense. Call her the cat killer. Cat gone, ape shit, baby, that's a gorilla. Hell no, had the nerve to put some perfume on. You remind me of chitlins. That smell ain't gone. You dead wrong. Your cat is strong. That's why we had to write a song. Do you keep that cat clean like a wash machine? Pat that cat, pat that cat. Did you scrub it real good? Is it ready to eat? Pat that cat, pat that cat. If you know it smells good, then say it loud. Pat that cat, pat that cat. If you wanna dance slow, push his head down. Pat that cat, pat that cat. You gotta pat that cat, you better clean that gap. While you tryna catch fellas in a booby trap. Keep it fresh, no cap, wet wipes on tap. Cause your coochie's in a coma, it don't need a nap. This a PSA, and you will get slapped. Don't nobody want the smell to make them feel kidnapped. When you come around, we shouldn't feel attacked. The kitty shouldn't smell like your ass crack. Throw it back, throw the whole thing away. Even your panties mad that they can't get away. We wanna see you leave a room with no aftermath. Like a coochie that ain't never had a bath. Do you keep that cat clean like a wash machine? Pat that cat, pat that cat. Did you scrub it real good? Is it ready to eat? Pat that cat, pat that cat. If you know it smells good, then say it loud. Pat that cat, pat that cat. If you wanna dance slow, push his head down. Pat that cat, pat that cat. Quit thinking ain't nothing wrong with that. You gon' lose that man smelling like a sewer rat. Stay in the club asking where the dollars at. You need to ask Alexa where the laundry mat. Ooh, your carpet sour, smelling like month-old cauliflower. Whole bath didn't work, shoulda got in the shower. Got out too fast, needed one more hour. Pause, I smell some dirty drawers. Which one of y'all smelling like some musty balls? Your coochie upset, what's the cause? You need to smile, bitch, Lil Duval. Do you keep that cat clean like a wash machine? Pat that cat, pat that cat. Did you scrub it real good? Is it ready to eat? Pat that cat, pat that cat. If you know it smells good, then say it loud. Pat that cat, pat pat that cat. If you wanna dance slow, put your head down. Pat that cat, pat that cat.
The Kickback Show. What's in your cup?
A whole lot of everything, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Listen, when I tell you that I love what I do, it's for days like this. It's for interviews like this. I'm filled. Like, I greatly appreciate you ladies. I thank you ladies for everything that you're doing. And look, we do that. I open this invitation for everybody, but I genuinely mean it. You are family. So this is an open door policy at any time. If you want to come on and just, if you got a problem with something, you want to just vent, if you want to share just a good story, if you, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to promote, this is your home. Please feel free to reach out to us. You have 100% of our support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That means a lot. Yep. That means a lot.
And we really mean it here. Like, we're not, the typical Hollywood, like, oh yeah, call me, call my people. No, it's like genuinely
call me.
Like, hit us up, reach out and say, yo, we got, this going on. Even it doesn't even have to be a project. It could just simply be like, yo, I just want to come up and just talk some trash. Like,
right.
Bring on.
You just want to come on and talk about the ladies with the musty cats and all that kind of stuff.
Where are they at? Get on them. Huh?
My favorite part of that was saying that it needed her WAP needed a breath mint. I was like, oh, that's
It need a man. That don't make no sense. Ooh.
Oh man, that's next level. Next level. Yeah, you need. I think at that point, if it's smelling like a bunch of like wet coins, like you need more than just
wet coins.
In particular, that's a wet penny. That's so nasty.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
The visuals, though, like
the visuals are fantastic.
The visuals are hilarious. Like, I mean, Cabria with the funky, messed up teeth, like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
and the kitty carpet. I had
that she was spraying.
Yo,
yeah.
Mind you, that part, it was just funny to hear like our moms and just family,
and grandparents.
Be like, yeah, grandparents, like, what y'all think about the video? And then it'd be like, well, that, except for that one part, I liked it. And I'm like, what part was that?
Yeah, I had to tell my grandma, I said, Grandma, that was some kitty carpet I ordered off Amazon. Now, I wouldn't do you like that.
I wouldn't do you that.
Yeah, that was
not real.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was pure comedy.
That was comedy.
Just from asking Alexa to, where's the nearest laundromat, like all of
Come
it.
Come on now.
Right.
You too busy worried about some dollars. You need to go
hop in. Hop on in.
Spin cycle.
Put your whole self in the washing machine.
That's right.
If you die, you die. Like that's yeah. If you die, you die. That's it.
Exactly.
We talk about not necessarily that on this show, but accountability. Accountability with art, because it was going to come out very wrong. I had to make sure that this
accountability.
Because just coming out like, we talk about that a lot on this show. Like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
But accountability for your art, and I do want to commend you ladies for utilizing your talents to address things, because so many things, and Tiana says this a lot, at least I take it from what she says, how certain topics become so taboo, or we don't talk about certain things, right? And I think we do a pretty good job on this show of addressing certain things, but something as simple as hygiene, right? Something that you would think is common sense, and you make it into a funny video. Look at the current state that we're in now, right? To where a simple covering your mouth or washing your hands, or one of my dad's favorite comedians, Red Fox, you got to wash your ass. Like, simple things like that need to be, people need to be reminded on. And it's kind of elementary and pretty remedial that we have to say that out loud. But I appreciate you putting like a great spin on it to bring attention and awareness, because again, you never know who's watching and who needs to hear it, that in their household they may not be talking about that. So
exactly,
you know, yeah. I just hope no young lady is at the laundromat really trying to get inside the washer. Trying to put the carpet in there, you know.
But please put the dirty drawers, okay? Put them in there.
There's actually, you know how they have those WikiHow videos, like step-by-step how-to whatever online?
Exactly.
There's literally one on how to wipe your vagina.
Really?
Okay. Like, my question is, why isn't your mama teaching you that when you're a child? Like, why does there need to be one? There shouldn't need to be a wiki video, WikiHow on how to like.
Some mamas didn't learn. And some people was
it's generational.
It's generational.
You have generational coochie funk. That's
generational.
You know,
that's the funk.
It's generational at that point.
It's the same thing. Like when a woman is on her monthly. It's some women that do different things depending on what they were taught. I had a friend, because she was raised by her father, I had to teach her how to properly dispose of a pad and a tampon, and you know how to wipe and make sure, because her dad was like, I don't know about it.
Okay, well in that situation, then if your dad is like, I'm gonna Google it, then I guess WikiHow is a good option. Okay.
But some things are generational. Some things are generational, you know, pass downs. Like my parents didn't teach me, you know, financial literacy, so I didn't have a bank account set up. Whereas some people didn't get their coochie washing or balls washing techniques passed down from their parents.
I think like things like that should be taught at like elementary school, like balancing a checkbook, just, you know, like basic things that you need in life. Well, I mean, checkbooks may be out of date now, but still, like,
just, but I mean,
managing money, taxes, credit,
right,
hygiene, and I think that's like part of this reform, you know, conversation that's going around. It's little things like that I'm trying to play my part with. Like I'm on a couple coalitions, but like really trying to like push those types of things. Like why aren't we learning how to strengthen the talents and gifts that we're given, right? Like if you see that somebody has like a passion for something, like clearly we can push them in that direction and give them general tools such as math and learning how to read and things that we'll use later on down the line. But there's never in the what is it now? Damn near 20 years that I've been out of school, right? I've never used any history. Like I haven't, it's never, nobody has come up to me like, yeah, what's the capital of Delaware? No, never. And nobody. Like, I mean, granted,
we're not using their history that they tried to push down our throats. Like, we're having to reteach ourselves history.
Exactly.
So teach me something I'm gonna use. Like, teach me how to travel 60 miles on a gallon of gas. How about that?
You out of control.
Teach me that. I want to learn that.
How can I stretch my dollars? Okay.
You know, that part.
Yeah.
You know, but no, you know, and it's again going back to the strength and the beauty of Black women. It brings up these types of conversations, which is why we need more of y'all in some more influential places. You know what I mean? So I really hope, and I want to give her a chance. I really hope that Kamala does what we expect. You know, I hope that she does the best job that she possibly can. You know, and I guess I should say, I hope that her intentions, her intentions are well. I know it's a lot to go, you know, in it, but I think looking at it, and I mean, I have my opinion based on her past, which is very subjective, given that I don't have all the details about who was working under her to, you know, to criminalize a lot of those people. But at the same token, to have a Black woman in that position, the same energy that we gave Barack, which again, he had a lot going on with him. It's like, I want to see a Black person be represented well in that position of power, because then it sparks the mind of the young boys and girls that are in this world, that, you know, they could see the possibilities of becoming president, vice president, co-chairs, senators, governors, and all of that, and so
yeah, it shows that we as a community and a culture can be more than what they kind of led us to believe that we are capable of being.
That's
more
right.
than just a slave.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, like I'm curious to get the ladies' thoughts in terms of, like, Danielle touched on it earlier, in terms of like having the size of the platform as far as like the comedy goes. And Noelle, maybe you can kind of touch on it just from like the music experience, like in your early career. Like, how did you guys, I guess, kind of accept that role as far as like having your platforms as big as they are, and realizing like, hey, like I can impact, more than just, a couple of people in my close circle. Like I'm now able to reach and impact, hundreds of thousands of people all over because of, your guys' careers and all of that.
I mean, it's crazy how important the numbers of social media are. I mean, we talk about this as a group that, because we started our social media platforms in February, March, it's like, we're doing the best we can. Even though they have their huge platform as Bestie Entertainment, it's also like their following has been following them. They're invested, it's 5 years. So you can't just spam them with a bunch of Chozyn 3 stuff all the time. That is still Bestie Entertainment. They have to deliver to that platform what they want. And hell, I remember when MySpace music was relevant and I had almost 1 million plays on MySpace and I had no music video, no deal, and no one cared. It was like, it wasn't enough because it wasn't I don't know, for some reason it wasn't that big of a deal at that time to have that many plays. And so here we are now, they're like, well, what are your, Instagram numbers? What are your Facebook numbers? What is Twitter? What is this? It's a lot to have to impact each platform in different ways. And we're trying our best to kind of get a feel for each platform, because there's Triller, there's also TikTok.
Right.
It's a lot to extend yourself on all these different platforms. But I think what we do a great job of, no matter if we got, I think we started in the beginning of September, we didn't have 400 followers on Instagram, and now we're almost over 500, I think, on Instagram. But that's just organic. That's us. We decided recently, even though we're trying to push Baecation, we want to keep the spins up on Spotify, and we don't want to lose momentum. And we're going to release another single November 13th, right before everything shuts down in the fourth quarter. But we also want to get people to be invested in us. It's not just how many ways can we promote Baecation, and every time a Black life is taken from us, we have how many more. And Pat That Cat, I mean, it's that, but we want to make sure that, please get to know us, why we're doing what we're doing. There are testimonial reasons for it. Yes, we are entertainers, but we have a desire to impact and help others. Not just our own immediate friends and family, but just be a voice in this world with everything going on right now. We want to, our niche is, look, it may look like we got $1 million budget, but the reality is we don't. And hopefully we can inspire you and encourage you to pursue whatever it is at whatever point you want. Because you said you've been out of school, 20 years? I mean,
40 years.
Me too, Me too, you know what I
high
mean?
School. Yeah.
I'm not 12 anymore. I'm not 21 anymore. And I'm not shying away from the fact that I'm not. And so using our platform from a numbers perspective, we're just like, look, if you follow us, if you invest in us in any kind of way, your attention span gives us 30 seconds. We hope that we made you feel good. We hope you got something good from it. If nothing else, you laughed, you protested, you were like, oh, damn, what'd she say? That was hard. We hope you're getting something from that. And then you might say, let me find out more about these girls individually. Oh, Noelle was on Blackish. Oh, that's the entertainment. They're funny. Like, wait a minute. And then we got merchandise. We're designing our merchandise for every single we got. You can buy a shirt or a tank top or something, we're trying to just bring all these layers into it to have some substance and some longevity, because it's not just about us. We want to be famous and we want to be rich and we want to, that's all good and well, but we really want to impact you in a positive way. We really, really do.
Yes. Yeah.
And I appreciate you saying that, especially in this age that we've kind of evolved to where the gimmicks and the likes, and I let me not preface it. The likes of like a Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? To where you come out and you're trolling the entire industry and you're doing all of this fanfare in order to get attention. And then when that starts to wear off, it's like, well, who are you at the end of the day? You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't subscribe to him. I feel as though that karma pretty much caught up to him. But it goes to show that you didn't have anything beyond the surface. All you had was just the trolling, bringing in all this attention. And to your point, it's like, well, you know, yeah, you have something that's as comedic and a parody like Pat That Cat, but then when you look at it and you dig deeper beyond that, there's more to give. So then when the flair or the allure of something like a Pat That Cat starts to wear down, there's still, like you said, a million other things that's left over for the audience to dig into. So I appreciate you ladies for having substance and being more than just, you know, surface beauty or just kind of like, hey, look at me because of this. But you know, and that's no shade to anybody else. Like, you know, kudos to those that do it, but then you see success with those that have substance, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So much love to you ladies for doing it.
Yeah, we don't want something crazy in the media to have to happen for us to finally tell our story and give an explanation. You know what I mean? We're giving people the story, our background, the foundation. So you just know what's up out the gate, you know, for anybody who's really following us.
They're not going to tell the story right to begin with anyway.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. We might as well tell it.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, this has been very, very therapeutic. Again, I thank you ladies. I thank you ladies tremendously.
Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely have to have you ladies back on. You know?
Oh man, after the election, please, because after the election, you know, we hopefully will know in a short time span who our president is, because, you know, depending on the counting of the votes and all that kind of stuff, the mail-in ballots. And then we are releasing a single on November 13th that fits into the realm of what's going on, but also what to look forward to and our mindsets for 2021. So, you know, we love to come back around anytime in November, December, and just let's catch up and see what has transpired since October 4th.
Definitely.
I know one thing that's about to transpire in the next day or so is Lakers being crowned champions for the
they about to get that.
history.
They about to get that.
But yeah, it'd be automatic for us to have you ladies back on, and Danielle and Kabria, next time you guys are out here in Los Angeles, like we'll have to try to figure out to do this like in person. One, and then two, I don't know if this would end up being like the way you guys get to perform for the first time in terms of front of a crowd, but I also am a part of a virtual concert series called Raw Stream, where so next time you guys are in Los Angeles, let's try to see if we can schedule time for you guys to perform, and then at least be able to have you guys perform virtually, you know, until we can get out of this damn pandemic.
Right.
And you guys
we would love that. Yes.
Absolutely. We would love that.
It would be an honor.
Definitely. Well, I think it's only right that you ladies all let the people know where they can find you, where they can keep up with you, where they can subscribe, all of that, just so they can absorb all of your content and get to know you ladies even more beyond this interview.
Go ahead.
Okay. With Bestie Entertainment, you can find us BESTIE Entertainment, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then our Chozyn is Chozyn 3, all platforms as well, and on all music platforms you can find us Chozyn 3.
And spell Chozyn, because people gonna spell it.
Yeah, exactly. CHOEZYN. Okay.
The number 3.
The number 3.
Yes. On Twitter, we're Chozyn 3 official, since Chozyn 3 was already taken. But other than that, Chozyn 3 ZYN on all platforms, from Tidal to Apple to Spotify. We're there. YouTube as well. Please subscribe. I know I hear that all the time from people, like, please like our stuff and follow. But it really matters. I mean, for Apple Music to give us the time of day, they're looking at how many likes, how many follows, how many saves, how many subscribers on everything. So if you watching, if you took 2 seconds to watch and you thought it was cool, like, follow, subscribe on everything, please. It helps. It helps us make more music.
It really does. Yes.
It really does. And I do want to highlight this. I started watching this documentary last night called Social Dilemma.
On Netflix. Yep.
Yeah. And it gets pretty deep, but I won't go too much into details. But it's important because clearly all of that data based on what you like and you look at definitely adds up, and it definitely helps the success of your favorite artists and, you know, and actresses and all of that. So those of
I
you
watched
that,
it. It's good.
Yeah. I need to finish watching it. I didn't watch the full thing, but it was definitely deep, especially being in this industry. You know, it's vital because it's the new world that we live in. You know, so make sure all of you subscribe to these ladies' channels. Please follow them. Share it, save it, all of that good stuff. You know, let's help these ladies out. All the support that they need. And again, much love to all of you ladies. Look forward to having you all back. I think we should play Baecation once again to take us out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Hey. I go by Files, Wavecap Johnny on Instagram and Twitter. And he is
DJ Swivel on Twitter, Swivel on Instagram, SWIVLL. Tiana Giovanna is in mommy mode right now with Tiana Giovanna on all her social media handles.
And shout out to Organic Blackberry on everything. And as always, follow us at The Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com. Much love to you all. Chozyn 3, thank you once again.
Yes.
And here goes
Baecation. Thank you, kings and queen. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss a beat.
Kick that beat.
Follow us on social media at The Kickback Show. Kickback on everything.